Life is a ride. Life is a ride. Life is a ride along. Life is a ride along. Welcome to the experience. Welcome to the journey. Welcome to the journey. A movement. This is Ridealdong Live, where everyone has a story to tell.
You're constantly thinking of food, but sometimes you just don't want to cook or want something a little different. That's when you call Tasties, preparing meals that you really love. Tasties, our mouth-watering food, would have you coming back every day. But hold on, we only prepare meals Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for now. Call early because we have a lot to serve and we would love to serve you. Tasties, we prepare the meals you love to eat. From macaroni pie to baked chicken, provision dumpling and saltfish, stewed chicken, curry chicken, baked chicken, rice and peas, salads, and more. Please call for daily menu. Call 425-0624 or 403-0411. You can pick up your meals from us or we deliver it to you. Tasties, food that's delicious.
What's up, Ridealdong? Welcome to the ride. Welcome to True Monday. Why am I thinking today was Tuesday? In this COVID-19 times, Jed. In this COVID-19 times, like Saturday, I was thinking that it was Friday. And on Friday, I thought it was Sunday. I'm all over the place. It's Monday. Yes. Welcome to the ride, guys. How you guys doing? Welcome to Ridealdong for Monday. Yeah, Monday. July 20-something. I'm track of the date, that's all. That's why it's 20-something. Yeah, man. Welcome to the ride, guys. I share. That's the key word. Dodo, hey, listen. Before you say a word to me, you know what the key word. The key word is I share. I share. Put it on your page. And let's talk. All right? Aisha, put it on the page and let's talk. Lisa. Thank you so much, Lisa. Thank you so much for locking in. Thank you so much for sharing. If you haven't shared yet, go ahead and share. Hey, kids. Pick up yourself, kids. How you doing? Welcome to the ride. Let me see who's first on the ride today. Lydia James, first on the ride today. Thank you so much, Lydia James. Lydia James have like a special connection. Lydia James seemed like she have a special notification thing going on, Jed. Lydia James, you win again. Lillian, Pierre, I share. Thank you so much for sharing. Dodo, guys. Also, if you want me to, Randall Robinson. Pick up yourself, Mr. Robinson, sir. We have to bring back Mr. Robinson on the program again. Randall, we have some stuff to chat about. So my people go get in touch with your people and we go make it happen. All right? Thank you so much, Randall. Chris, CMC Shatter. Pick up yourself, Aisha. Thank you so much for sharing. Sholan Jeffrey. Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah, I think, yeah, she have a special alarm that songs off, you know, and she gets notification. Even before me, I don't get notification on my phone, not until sometime 2-3 minutes after I start the program. So which means I would never be in Lydia's shoes. All right, Margaret, thank you so much for sharing. Guys, let's do this thing quick. Because the program today is one that everybody need to share, everybody need to see, everybody need to pay attention to, right? So I want everybody to tag a friend, not only the females. I want you to tag your male friend because it has a lot to do with life. So tag a friend or call if your husband they land more or in the man cave, call him up. So listen, hon, I want you to watch a program with me today. It's very important. All right? Natasha Charles says she always second. Thank you so much, Natasha. Second is just as good as first. It's right after first, actually. Doing well. The only person that could call me June June is Wendy Brave Boy. Wendy, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Wendy Brave Boy. I am doing fine, actually. I'm here in Toronto, Canada, under quarantine, strict quarantine, I should say. But I'm loving it. I'm having a good time. It's just rest and relaxation for me. I come out only to do the program. Other than that, I'm just inside, really. I know the house, like I could close my eye and walk to the house. I know what's in the fridge. I know every item in the fridge. I know this place now. That's what happens. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. Now, guys, come on, listen. Share it up, 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 share it up. Now, my next guest absolutely, definitely has a unique story to tell. I don't know if you guys heard about the Manhattan Project, right? It had to do with some radioactive dumping that took place, right, in a small town next to where my next guest lived. And because of that, a huge cluster of people in that area was diagnosed with cancer. Now, my guest today, I want you guys to get the tissue out because it might be that type of emotional type of program. She's joining us right now to share her story.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Tracy. Thank you so much for even allowing us to talk with you on such a very sensitive issue. And I know it's something that you're still going through even a day like today. So I was warning my viewers that it could get very, very emotional. Because even while talking to you earlier, I've seen that it's still an emotional topic of conversation for you.
Yes.
Nevertheless, I thank you so much for coming on the program, agreeing to chat with us and share everything. And as you said, no question is off topic. We could ask anything. We're talking about everything as it relates to the cancer treatment and how it affects you sexually and otherwise.
Absolutely.
All right. So before we start and getting people inside here, I want you to take this opportunity, Tracy, to introduce yourself to our audience.
Hi, everybody. My name is Tracy Lenato, and I'm 39 years old. I am a breast cancer survivor. I was diagnosed when I was 30.
All right. I think we have some connection problem there with Tracy. We're gonna try to rectify that. Stick here, don't go nowhere. This story you have to see, guys. Let's fix the connection. Let's fix the connection with Stacy. And I told you guys that it will get emotional, right? Yeah, yeah, it will. Because what you would learn that happened to Tracy and the life she's living right now, growing up as a girl, she never could have assumed that that would have been her reality. She's living through it like that. I want to tell her story. I want her to tell her story. I want her to tell her story. As soon as she get back, as soon as she fix the connection problem. As soon as she comes back, um, we're gonna continue. In the meantime, guys, for the program, you share it once, I want you to share it again. In fact, I want you to get so bad. I want you to get so bad. I want you to start a watch party. Do it right now. Stacy, I saw you have some connection problem there, but that happens. I completely understand. And I see you have your dog. What's your dog name?
This is Algonquin. I call her Gonk. There's a movie called Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, and since I'm Gemini, she's my alter ego, and Gonk was the name in the movie, and I happened to rescue her. She's 6 weeks old and abandoned, so she's now my service dog.
Okay, all right. Now I'm hearing that my audio is not very clear. I don't think I have a problem with my audio. Your audio is not very clear, Junior. I think I should be fine, but I'm gonna double check because I want everybody to hear this. I want everybody to hear the story because it's very important. So I want all audio to be working. I want everything to be clear. Yeah, yeah, my audio is clear. My audio is clear. All right, right. Stacey, I want you to tell us again. Tell us a little bit about
Sure.
yourself. Just tell us a little bit about yourself. Let's start from there.
Okay, I'll start over. I'm 39 years old, and my name is Tracy Lenato, and I was diagnosed with stage 2B breast cancer when I was 32 years old. So that was 7 years ago when I joined the Lovely Cancer Club, and here I am today to just do my best to have people enjoy life. I was dealt a pretty crappy hand, but I only had two options on how to handle it. I could be mad, or I could try to do something with it. So humor is my best way to handle breast cancer. So, I have no tits. I wore my special shirt for you guys today.
Right, 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 right. You know, your situation, your diagnosis is not a normal diagnosis. It wasn't the everyday thing that people hear. You actually lived in an area that was had active radioactive dumping site. Tell us about the area and the dumping and what followed by the cluster of people from that area.
Okay. On Facebook, there is a page called Coldwater Creek, just the facts. And back in the 60s, when the Hiroshima bombing happened and they had the Manhattan Project and they built the radioactive bombs, they had to dump the waste somewhere, and they were supposed to dump it in mines. And I don't know if it was an accident or if it was purposefully dumped, but it ended up being dumped in I lived in Florissant, Missouri, and it's a pretty wide area from Ferguson. I know we all know about the Ferguson riots. It was dumped right there in Ferguson all the way to Florissant, Missouri, and it went into the ground, and we all played in it, and nobody knew it was happening. And probably about 7 or 8 years ago, it started to come into light that there was a lot of people between their 20s and 40s coming down with all kinds of different cancers and no genetics that would match up with that. So it ranges from breast cancer, bone cancer, brain cancer, liver cancer, all kinds of that. And I do have, I'm going to send it to you later so that you can share to show the cluster of kind of the statistic of what went down there. So thorium 410 was one of the radioactive materials that were dumped there. And being a tomboy and playing softball, when we rode underneath the sewers with all the boys, what we thought was just moss and green slime was radioactive waste that we played in. So I did a genetic test after I was diagnosed with cancer because we have 14 cases between both sides of my family. So I wanted to do the genetic testing to see if I had any genetics, to find out if that's why I needed to cut my breast off, whatever I needed to do. And we found 2 mutations in my genes, and they are not genetically, related to my family. They're just mutations.
Yeah, that's
So
But hold on. How old were you when you realized that people was dying? There was an unusual set of deaths or diagnosis relating to cancer. How old were you when you realized that it was happening?
if I'm honest, we kind of knew about the dumping of the radioactive waste, but until it affected me, I didn't get too into it. Sadly, it's sometimes when things don't affect you, you kind of pretend like it's not there. So we knew about it. And if you look up the West Lake landfill, which is in St. Charles, Missouri, which is right there, that is where they took the radioactive waste and placed it. So it is now underground, 1,000 feet from the fire burning all the trash. They say it's contained, but honestly, if that fire ever reaches that radioactive waste, there's a lot of people that are gonna die. So it's a big fight, and the government does want to just, I'm not gonna say they want to sweep it under the rug. They just want to say everything's okay. The fire won't be touched. It will never happen. The ground is now reading levels of radioactive material that is not enough to clear the area. So they've given the okay for people to live there, even though, let's see, it's the 2020 now. So 40 years ago was when it was at its height. And that's when I was playing in it. So, of course, over time, it goes away. It's still in the soil right now. It's just not enough for them to warrant clearing out an entire city, especially ones big as Hazelwood, Ferguson, Florissant.
Well, question I wanted to find out how much people lived in that area, and did anyone else from your family diagnose or die? Were there any fatalities in your immediate family because of the radioactive dumping?
No, luckily there was not in my family. However, one of the kids I went to high school with, he was a male, my age with me, and sadly he passed away from breast cancer. No genetic.
Wow. Wow. All right. So let's talk about your specific case now, right?
Okay.
When did you find out that you had breast cancer?
Well, I was dating a boy named Jason for 5 years. Great guy. And I lose weight when I'm depressed. I'm the opposite. I don't eat. So I lost 10 pounds in 4 days, and I was sleeping, and I rolled over, and I smushed like right here, and I thought it was a cyst because I've always gotten cysts in my boobs. And I was like, oh, that doesn't feel normal. So I watched it because I don't like to jump to things. And I watched it for 6 weeks before I called my doctor, and I told him that I think something's wrong. And he said, okay, well, let's come in and look at it. It's probably just a cyst that needs to be drained, and we'll go from there. So I went in, and he felt around and said, I think it's a cyst that needs to be drained. However, I have to do a history of why I got to where I was. My gynecologist, his dad delivered me. So we're kind of family, in a way. And he knew how upset I was about stuff. So he tried to make me feel better. He told me, Tracy, you do not have cancer. You are 32 years old. You are healthy. Your blood work is normal. This does not feel like cancer. You are fine. However, if you would like me to send you down for an ultrasound to make you feel better, I will. And I said, yes, please. So he sent me down for the ultrasound, and that doctor read the ultrasound and called my doctor and said, I can't tell what it is. It doesn't look like cancer. It doesn't not look like cancer. And he's like, we can pretty much just send her on her way to watch it. And he's like, no, that is going to kill her. Just biopsy it. Make her feel better, please. Let's just show her that's not cancer.
Right.
And I had a 5% chance of it being cancer. So 2 days after my biopsy, my doctor called me, and his exact words were, I'm an asshole, and I will never, ever tell somebody again that they do not have cancer when I don't know.
Wow.
And because he knew better than to have the nurses call me and say I needed to come in. So he told me over the phone, which not a lot do. But due to our history with, his dad and my family, my mom, my sister, we all had the same doctor. He just told me right then and there. And when he picked up, it literally, I was like, he's like, hey, Trace, I said, it's cancer, isn't it? And he said, I'm an asshole, and I will never tell somebody again it's not cancer.
So I mean, that's devastating news. That's people don't take that news too easy, because when people think cancer, they think, that's the end.
Yes.
How did you deal with that?
I have a cosmetology degree that I no longer can use because I can't hold my arm up. So I was at work when I received the news, and I just told my work, I'm like, I'm sorry, I gotta go. So I went out of my car, and if I'm honest, I wanted to hit something, and I wanted to hit something really bad. So I just punched the crap out of my thigh because I'm like, well, I'm not gonna break my hand. And I cried hard for probably about 2 hours. The worst call was calling my mom.
Yeah. Before we go on, do you have a fan that's blowing?
Yeah, let me turn it off.
Yeah. No problem. Guys, we're talking here with Tracy.
How's that?
And she's sharing her story of how she was diagnosed with cancer that led to a whole bunch of other things. So I want you guys to just listen very carefully and attentively, because she caught this cancer accidentally, right? She wasn't really searching for it. She just happened to check it, and it was at stage 2B, um, which, if it got into a lymph nodes and other things, it could have been a different situation we're talking about right now. So that's where we are. Um, so you are obviously going through the motions now, dealing with this. This is crazy. Now, how do I deal with it? What do I do? What was your next move? What did you think? What do you think would be your next move in dealing with it, the
Uh,
cancer?
so after I dealt with it, I just asked my doctor, I go, what do I do? And he's like, well, you got to do this and you got to do that. And you got to call this doctor and you got to call that. And I was like, I can't do that. And so he said, he asked me if I trusted him. And I told him, of course I did. So he picked all of my doctors for me. I told him, just make the appointments. I will be there. So he chose my surgeons and he chose my oncologist for me. And he chose my plastic surgeon and made all the appointments for me. And then I showed up. And I was very angry at first. I called my sister, my mom, my dad, my immediate family, and let them know, my best friend, told them what it was. And I allowed myself 3 hours to cry. And then I literally made a post on Instagram that said, fuck it, I'm smiling anyway, and it's time to do this. So I went to my oncologist. My sister went with me. We wrote everything down. I brought recordings because when you're in that situation, you're not really listening. So it's really best to have somebody else there because they're going to catch things that you're not paying attention to. I mean, you hear cut off your boobs, your brain's gone. You're now paying attention to something else.
What was
So,
that? Was that the first? Was that the first option that was
uh,
presented to you?
no, I had an amazing oncologist. So we went in and what they do is they take your blood work, which mine came back absolutely normal. My worst thing on my blood work was my white blood cell count was 10, which you can have when you have strep throat. So my blood work didn't point towards it at all. We then did an MRI. And when we did the MRI, of course, you can't tell the stage or anything till you actually send it off to pathology. I mean, we knew we had cancer from the biopsy, but until they actually sent it off to pathology, were we able to diagnose the stage and everything that it was. So she took my blood test. We did the biopsy, and then they met with the tumor board, which is like 10 doctors, and they go over their options. Well, she met with me, and so she told me I had two options, and she gave me her personal opinion and her medical opinion. Her medical opinion was I can do a lumpectomy and I can cut it out and just have a little lump right under here. However, we then found another tumor in the right one that we did not know if it was benign or malignant with the MRI that we did. That biopsy was extremely painful. And so I was just like, I don't want to do the lumpectomy. So let's just cut him off. I don't want to deal with this anymore. If I did the lumpectomy, you have your fat tissue, you have so much stuff that's going to be left over, your nipples, everything else that can build cancer. And in all honesty, like, my life was more important than my boobs. So I chose to do that. So her medical opinion was for me to get a lumpectomy and do the chemo. That was her medical opinion. Her personal opinion was I am 32 years old. If I do not get rid of them, it will most likely come back. So her personal opinion as a doctor, and me being her second youngest patient ever to have breast cancer, her medical opinion was, or personal opinion was, for me to do the double mastectomy and do chemo. It was not in my
Well,
lymph nodes, thank
well,
God.
with the double mastectomy, you cut it off, but of course, people add implants.
Yeah.
Right.
And
So you have, because to have that feminine, that you can wear those clothes and stuff like that. Um, so
it was
that was an option, of course.
yes, that was my option. And when they do it now, medical science is amazing. So they have your plastic surgeon and your surgeon in there together when you're doing the mastectomy, and they do it all at once. So I literally cut off my boobs, which were a size, large B, small C, nothing to be too big. So they cut them off, and then they put the expanders in as well. But the expanders are deflated at first because you cut off so much skin and muscle and fat in order to remove all of your fat cells that can grow the cancer. And when they do that, you don't really have much skin left. So I kind of have these like little deflated bags that were in there. And so 1 hour after getting home from my mastectomy, I took a picture with my drains, and I had my robe open, and I was smiling, and I shared it on social media, and my dad's side of the family disowned me.
Wow. I want to get into that part as a segment by itself,
Yeah,
because
that was just what did it.
yeah, yeah.
That first
More,
picture.
more on the program is asking, have you ever considered alternative medicine or therapies for the treatment of your cancer?
Absolutely. I am on no medication. My general practitioner and I'm a medical marijuana card, so I do use that. And I can't have hormones, so I just have to be really careful of what I put in my body to keep my cancer away. Mine is estrogen progesterone positive, which means any estrogen or progesterone that I have can feed my cancer. So I can't have soy. I can't have ginseng. I have to really be careful of everything I put in my body, because your body can turn a lot of things into estrogen.
Yeah. So what about your just your normal female producing hormones? How do they block that? How do they get control of that so that you don't
Um,
continue to feed the cancer?
I had to have a radical hysterectomy in order to remove everything, all my ovaries, my uterus, everything. And I had to be on a pill for 6 years. The first one they put me on was tamoxifen, and I had a mental breakdown on that. It was really bad. I was not myself, and the depression. Um, I had to come off of that, so they put me on a second one, which was aromycin, and that also was really bad mentally for me. So we tried the third pill, which I'm sorry, I did that backwards. Arimidex. These pills. First one was tamoxifen. Second pill was Arimidex, and the third pill was aromycin, which ended up actually doing pretty good for me. So I was on the aromycin for 4 years, tamoxifen for 1 year, Arimidex for 1 year. And on May 22nd of this year, I stopped my last pill that I was forced to take to stop estrogen. So
Small progress, but you said something there, and you just went over it. You had your ovaries, all that taken out.
yes, yeah, it's all gone. Just an empty cave down there. That's what I call it.
I've heard that whenever a woman goes through that type of drastic changes where they remove those things, it doesn't only it's not like you just remove it and you live a similar life as a regular woman. It changes a lot of things sexually. Everything changes.
Yeah.
Your desires, all of that changes. How did it happen? How did it change for you?
I have lost all sexual desire. Everything, even to myself. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm like, dang, I want to have an orgasm. So I try, and then nothing happens, and my hand hurts before it's time for me to be happy. So I just, no matter what I do, no matter how hard I try, it just doesn't work anymore.
At this point, sex is just like non-existent.
It has not been existent in my life now for 4 years.
Do you have any kind of urge? Do you have any kind of urge whatsoever?
None. I don't even have an urge to kiss somebody.
How does that work in relationship then?
I haven't had a relationship in 4 years because most people don't understand that. It's very difficult for me to deal with because I'm not naive and I know I'm not an ugly girl. So I will get hit on and I say thank you very much. I appreciate it so much. Due to the whole cancer thing, I'm just not comfortable dating. It's just not something I do anymore. I don't want to be touched. And it's a sad thing that their next answer is usually, well, you have other lady parts. And I said, well, it's just not about not having boobs. Sex is painful for me. And the next answer from that guy is usually, well, you can do anal. And I said, I'm not doing anal. And they said, well, you can do a blowjob. And I said, I'm not doing a blowjob. Well, you can do a hand job. And I said, do you realize that this entire conversation has been how to please you? And yeah, so I have no desire to date. And unless somebody can be literally my best friend, we can share a house together. I will cook for you. I'll clean for you. We'll pay the bills. We'll do everything old, impotent, married couples do. And if you're not impotent, then you can go have sex with whoever you want. Since I have no drive, I have no jealousy. As long as you don't have sex with somebody in my bed, because that's my bed. And that's gross.
That's a lot. That's
Yeah.
a lot. This. You're smiling, and a lot of people want to cry.
Well, that's because
This is a lot of stuff to deal with, Tracy.
Yeah, my whole life I've been a relationship person, and I kind of did everything for that relationship. And if I have to be honest, for myself personally, not being able to have sex in a relationship has made me happier than ever because I don't need a man in my life to make me happy, or a woman. Doesn't have to be a man. I don't need a sexual partner to make me happy. I have my best friends. I have my mom. I have my dog. I have my cats. There's much more to life than. Oh, sorry, I'm making her mad. There's much more to life than sex. A lot.
How do you deal with this psychologically? Now, this changed your whole life. The cancer.
Yeah.
You know, you had a mastectomy. It changed your entire life. How do you cope with this? You can't even keep a relationship because everybody that comes into your life, it end up to be sexual, and then you don't want to be sexual. You don't want to, you just can't because it's extremely painful. So you just really can't, and people just cannot understand that. So that relationship with men is non-existent whatsoever.
No.
How do you deal with it psychologically?
If I must be honest, just not having hormones, I think, has a lot of cause to it. You know, I do have to state that I understand men more than I've ever understood them in my life, because when I had my hysterectomy for the first 3 months, all I wanted to do was have sex because of the surge of testosterone that had gone through my body. And it was all I could think about. I mean, I'm like, I need to date a guy. I need to have sex. Do you want to have sex? Let's have sex. I'm like, oh my God, I want to make out. Oh my God, I want to have sex. So I honestly really do feel like it's a humongous hormonal issue. And when you don't have those hormones, that stuff doesn't go through your body. And I can't miss it because I don't have that urge. But I think a lot of reason I don't miss it personally is because unless I have somebody that's going to respect like what I say, you know, like there's just so many people that don't respect it when I tell them I don't date. So it just makes me angry, and it just makes me not want to do it even more because nobody understands.
And you start to look at people differently, because you start to look at people like the only thing that they want you for is that. For instance, if you had all the money in the world and someone would fall in love with you only for that money, that's all they're with you for, and then that money is not existent anymore, then what happened?
Exactly.
Right? So you start to see people now as they using sex as materialistic. That is all that they want from you.
Yes.
And ultimately you just see people differently. Do you have any close relationships at all with men?
I have tons of best friends. Jason, who I talked about earlier in the video, we dated for 5 years. He has a little girl now, and I mean, we're great friends. I babysit his daughter, you know, and he told me, because I've joked around with him, because he still likes me. He told me he did and wanted to be back together. But I said, Jason, come on, I'm not going to do that. Especially the fact that I can't give people kids, and you want a child so bad, so we're not going to do that. And I said, but whenever you're impotent, and if you don't have a relationship, come see me. And his response was, you are so right. He said his dad and his stepmom, neither one, they're impotent, and they're the happiest they've ever been in their life with their relationship.
Yeah. Um, Lacey J asked a question here in the chat. It's very interesting. She said, "What about other emotions like crying? Do you get emotional?"
I do. Absolutely. And I usually get emotional when it goes to deal with somebody else, less than me. Like, just thinking about having to tell my mom, if this cancer ever came back, like, I could fight it with a vengeance. But I don't ever want to tell my mom that. So I don't get so upset as far as myself. I get more upset of the people I'm gonna leave.
Yeah.
And I still cry. I still have the emotions. They're not as strong. I am a crier when I get angry, and I am a crier when I get mad. And I don't have the spells as much as I used to. I don't know if that's just getting stronger every day and dealing with it, and it's just when you live that, you deal with it every day, it becomes a little less and less. But my tears and stuff usually come more of the pain that will cause somebody else.
Yeah. Mo is asking an interesting question here, and after this question, I don't know how much you could show us. Um, but we will, before you do show us, if you are going to show us, I know you showed me earlier.
Of course.
Yeah, we would like to just let the people know, because for a lot of people it might be a shocking experience. So we
It
want to alert them before we do that.
Yes, it
But Mo's
does.
asking a question. He'd like to find out how your immediate family is dealing with this ailment. Many times the family dramatically change when someone is dealing with medical ailments.
My mom's side of the family and my mom were extremely supportive. I have a hardcore Sicilian dad's side of the family, and I'm the black sheep of that family because I'm not a hardcore Sicilian. I don't even really eat that much tomato sauce, so I never really fit in with my dad's side of the family. I have six. Well, my grandma, and she has six children. My grandma, amazing. My Aunt Linda, amazing. My Aunt Pam, amazing. They're all dead. So the only ones that were left were the ones that disowned me. My father, a couple of my aunts, all my cousins. I have 17 cousins, and I have 3 that I talk to.
Change a lot of the relationship between you and your family, and that's understandable and no fault of yours. All right, so you're gonna show.
Oh, I see something down there that says, have you ever thought of adopting a child? Yes, but I
Yeah.
will not do that to a child because my cancer can come back at any time. So when I'm 40, I'm applying to be a foster parent. And I know I'm going to have to give them back. I know I'm going to have to put them back in situations, but I can give them hope and give them a friend. I don't care if they're a little kid or a teenager. We're going to be in that together. I can't have kids. They're dealing with a lot of family. So I am going to apply to be a foster parent at 40 years old. I'm 39, so that'll be next year.
Okay, all right. You have a lot of passion. You have a lot of love. All right. So let me before you show us, I want to say that for a lot of people, it for whatever reason it may be disturbing, right? For whatever reason. So you might feel like this is a good time to look away if you are will be disturbed by what we're about to show you. She
And it's
would lift
not
up her.
gory though. It's not
It's not
gory.
gory. No, it's not gory. I'm not saying it's not gory at all. But for a lot of people, they they see things like that and they really it's a shocker. All right.
Okay.
So
So
when you're
ready?
ready,
I'm
yes,
gonna
you could
do
go
my
right ahead.
unveiling. No.
You could go
Okay.
right ahead. And
I'm gonna move this.
Facebook cannot block us either because there is no
Okay.
breast there.
Well, I just got a tattoo a week ago, so I am very still bruised from it. So you'll have to ignore that. The top word right here is Jesus's last words that said "It is finished." Was just what he said before he died on the cross. My diagnosis date, and due to my scars making some funny little eyeballs that I noticed, I've made a smiley face on my chest. My port used to be right here, so this is "Rest in Peace, Peter." I drew it with my left hand, so it looked like a little kid drew it. So I'm going to turn a little sideways, and it sticks out right here. So this is my sternum right here,
Right.
and obviously you can see that that is sticking out. That is hard bone.
Right.
Well, when you look through here, how it starts to get flabby up here, they have to come through this entire area and take out all of your fat and all of your breast tissue, and then go up through here and take out lymph nodes. So we get, as breast cancer patients, we get these things, we call them dog ears. This is what we call dog ears. So due to I'm going to pull my phone out because it's a little easier to see the indentation if I get closer.
Yeah.
So as you can see, it is very much indented. This is a view from me looking down and
Right.
how it goes in. I have to do massages and things like that, which is very uncomfortable. I do not like to touch my chest. I am all for showing people and helping people, but I don't actually like this does not bother me, but looking in a mirror bothers me. So over here, I have quite a few scars where my drains were. And as well over here, I have a bunch of scars where my drains were.
Yeah.
And I mean, it is from here to here is one scar. From here to here is another. And I've had 6 surgeries on my chest and a hysterectomy. So I've had 7 surgeries altogether in 7 years.
Tracy, how comfortable are you doing this? Because as a woman, some always tend to want to shield or hide yourself. You're sitting there and you seem comfortable, and I mean, you don't physically have the breast, but do you have the feeling like your breasts be there? Do you have any breast feeling? I don't know if that's the terminology, but do you have breast feelings?
Yeah, I don't have phantom breast pain. What is funny is I have phantom nipple pain. So like even right here, like it's kind of chilly in here with the AC, so I'm like, oh, my nipples. Oh wait, I have no nipples. So yes, I'm always doing this until I remember I don't have nipples. So yeah, I definitely have phantom nipple pain, which is I kind of laugh at that a little bit, and I'm like, oh, I could cut glass with these nipples, and then I'm like, oh wait, I don't have any. So I do like to joke. Humor is the best way I handle this.
Yeah, yeah. How do people react? Other people, because you was telling me at one time you were mowing the lawn or you were outside and you got hot and you lift up your shirt and there you are, a woman with the shirt lift up. Everybody was, oh my god, oh my god! But then look, she got no breast.
They do. They give you this like, and I'm like, hey, if you're uncomfortable, try living without boobs. And then they usually laugh and they giggle. I'm like, hey, it's legal for me to do. We were on float trip with all of our friends, and they're all hot because we're not in the water. We're in this little area. So I just like literally took my swimsuit top and dipped it in the water and picked it up and put it back on. I was like, ha, you can't do this, but I can. So I do try to figure out the good with all this bad that goes on, and I try to joke around with them, when these girls have to cover things, and I'm like, oh, well, it's legal for me to walk around without a top. And I understand that it'll make somebody uncomfortable, but it's the truth and it's my truth. And I tell people try living with it. All you have to do is look at it.
You could have never gotten this far to be able to smile like you're smiling right now. Just be comfortable sitting on a global platform where everybody's looking at you all over the world, without some serious counseling.
I
Tell us about the counseling that you had to go through to even smile the smile like you're smiling right now.
I had a lot of counseling. If I go back to when I was 17 years old, I've dealt with a lot. I'm kind of a lot for people to handle sometimes. Um, I say I have a really, really interesting personality, and you either love it or you hate it. And when I was younger, due to my kindness, I was labeled fake a lot. So I had no real true friends in high school. And when I was 17, I drove my mom's car into a telephone pole going 70 miles an hour, and I tried to kill myself. And I firsthand got to see the hurt that I was going to cause my mom and my sister and my family and my friends. And I made a promise to her and God and all my family and my friends that I would never, ever give up again. And I intend to keep that promise. So I've been on medication. They put me on Lexapro, which I was on for 6 years for depression. I've been on Klonopin. I've been on lorazepam, which is also Ativan. I've been on Xanax. I've been on Lamotrigine for 8 years, which is a mood stabilizer. But I have recently quit all medication as of the last month, and I am now focusing on therapy only.
Yeah. Did you experience any changes to your voice?
No, I've always had this deep, crazy voice.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah. Now, my best friend did notice when I was going through chemo. Her and I love karaoke. That's actually where we met, is singing karaoke. So I've always had this raspy Melissa Etheridge singing voice. It's just always been my thing. But she did notice when I was going through chemo and things like that, that my voice had gone away. And it was probably about 2 years ago, we were out singing karaoke. And she ran up to me after I sang a song and pretty much cried and said, "Your voice is back." So yeah, it did affect it. I didn't notice it as much as other people did.
Yeah. Deanna Winter Funday is asking, what advice would you have for young women facing a diagnosis such as this?
Well, my first thing is early detection does not save lives. And I tell you that because I wasn't even old enough to require or receive a mammogram through my insurance. I was 32 years old. The only thing that is going to save lives is knowing your body, and that is it. When you're doing a breast exam, my first advice is to literally have your doctor walk you through every little bitty lump in your breast, men and women. You need to know whether it's fibrous tissue. You need to know whether it is a cyst that's harder, maybe needs to be drained. You need to know if it's a softer cyst. And when you know that, it makes it easier for you to check yourself. I never really did breast exams, but like if I rubbed myself like this and I was like, oh, that doesn't feel, oh, okay, never mind. He walked me through that. And my best advice is you need to handle this in every way, shape, or form that is good for you and nobody else. It doesn't matter.
Phone lines. Let's
Family
open the
thinks.
phone
Yeah.
lines.
It doesn't
Um,
matter. Sorry,
so,
it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. If my family they did not want me to get the double mastectomy. They told me, my dad's side, that I could do a lumpectomy. My sister was there. She heard the doctor say it, and I only did the double mastectomy for attention.
oh, wow.
You do what you feel is right, and don't ever not self-advocate, because if I would have listened to my doctors, I'd be dead.
I wanna get some calls in. There's a lot of people who listening to your story and they're saying, "Wow, you're so strong. You're so beautiful. Great smile. A lot of encouragement coming from our viewers. I want to open up the phone lines to get some calls. The number that you guys could call in right now, I'm going to put it up on the screen, is 718-701-5720. That's 718-701-5720. We're speaking live here with Tracy. And boys, Tracy have a story. Tracy have a story. And for those of you who just came in and just watching right along and you see a half naked woman on the program, we have not we didn't just switch up our programming. We're talking about cancer and the effects of cancer that changed Tracy's life forever.
Yes.
And she's living testimony. You know, she wants to survive. She wanted to survive, and she's surviving this. So give us a call right now, guys. 718-701-5720. 718-701-5720. Let's hear your voice on this. Lacey J has a question. She's asking, um, how do you deal with having um, any biological children? How do you deal with not having any biological children? Did
Uh,
you consider freezing your eggs?
yeah, she hit the soft spot. That's my emotional spot. When I was little and they asked you what you wanted to be when you grew up, my answer was always a mom. So when I was told that I was going to have a hysterectomy, I did have to do therapy. They made me see a counselor to make sure that I was fully aware of what was going to happen. And if I would have had biological kids, I might not be alive to see the rest of their life. It just wasn't meant to be for me. And that it's okay. It's hard. It sucks. It's probably the worst thing that could have happened to me as far as what I wanted. I have that mom gene, but I can give a lot to foster, and this mom gene helps my single mom and single dad friends and family, and I'm able to be there for them and help them with my spare time. If I had kids, I wouldn't be able to help women. I'd be too busy raising my children. So the men and women that are out there that need my help would not receive my help. So it just wasn't in the cards for me. And as much as it hurts me and tears me apart, and I get really upset that that's not in my cards, ultimately it's okay.
Wow.
Just wasn't meant to be.
Um, Andrea wants to know, was surgery an option before the surgery? Was surgery an option? Alternate
Uh,
other surgery?
oh, she asked me about freezing eggs. I'm sorry, I got emotional.
Yes, freezing egg. Yeah.
Yes, I did. I remembered that. So, in order to freeze your eggs, you have to pump yourself through estrogen, which feeds my cancer. So, I would have had to do shots every day in my stomach for 2 weeks, pumping myself full of estrogen to maybe get an egg. And it was going to cost me 10 grand out of pocket. And I said, I'm not going to feed my cancer for a maybe. That's selfish.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to feed my cancer just because that's what I wanted.
So you wanted to survive. You wanted to survive. You want to live, and you had to make a tough decision, a very tough decision, even if it means you not having kids, you not having your breasts, you're not having any female parts, female organs. Like you made the ultimate decision to live.
Well, what would my mom have done without her daughter if I chose to pump myself full of estrogen and it killed me? Should I have done that just to have my own child? I couldn't do that to her.
And then Kennedy Twit Phillip is saying she has really educated herself, even if she needs therapy herself. I hope she consider counseling others. How you feel about that?
I've been really trying to do my to grow my personal page and share everything. And if I don't put myself out there, I can't help anybody. I can't. It's impossible. And so that's when people tell me that I'm strong and I'm courageous. I don't feel that, because I get that strength and I get that in seeing how much I can help other women. So when somebody tells me, like I'm an inspiration, or they come to my page, like that inspires me to want to love myself more in order to help them.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm not always strong. I know that I portray this awesome, like everything's great. Don't get me wrong. I have my moments that I lay here in my room and cry my eyes out into my dogs and my cats. And there are times I want to give up and I don't want to be here and that I feel that this isn't fair and I shouldn't have had to deal with this. I allow myself to feel those emotions. I just don't allow myself to stay there.
Yeah. Spice Baffy's asking, how long have you been in remission?
I am 7 years out December 2nd of this year. It'll be 7 years since my chemo. So
Wow.
I am actually 6 years in remission, but I do like to educate people that that word is technically non-existent. It is just a word that the doctors use to say that basically your cancer is not big enough right now to be seen. It's never fully gone. You're never in remission or healed. It just means you are fighting it off well, and it's not big enough to be seen yet. So it's not a matter of when it will, or if it will come back, it's when. And when I had to do chemo, it wasn't in my lymph nodes. So I luckily was given a choice of what chemo I wanted to do. So I could either choose, sadly, when you choose chemo to get rid of cancer, you have to choose another cancer to possibly get later in life. So my choices were blood cancer or bone cancer. I chose bone cancer. And now I have osteoporosis.
You were not dealt excellent deck of card, but you took it and you making it better. Um, by reaching out to people, by being a representative, you're saving so much lives. You're saving so much lives. Even on the show today, there's a lot of people who's gonna go like this and say, you know what, I better go check this out. And
Men have
men
to
and
too.
men
It's
and
not
women.
just women.
Exactly, men as well as women. Hannah wants to know what was it like immediately after the surgery in terms of the pain, and were you ever in critical condition while at the hospital?
Yes, I have an extremely high pain tolerance. Usually, as an example, is usually with the hysterectomy, you are not released until after 5 weeks. And I waited tables. I was released after a week. After every chemo, I worked through chemo and I worked through all my surgeries, waiting tables and doing hair until I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't afford not to. I still had to pay my bills. But I get brain farts. I'm sorry. This is from the chemo. What was the question? You'll have to repeat it.
Yeah. Let me. Sorry. No, I understand. I understand. Let me go back
Okay.
up to it. Let me go back up to the question. How was it immediately? How was it immediately after the surgery?
Okay, that's right. So when you do this particular surgery with a mastectomy, you have no feeling. That feeling is gone. All the nerve endings and stuff are taken. You're literally left with only enough skin for blood flow. Your pectoral muscles and everything are taken out. So when I had my double mastectomy, you are not supposed to do blood pressure in the side that you removed your lymph nodes. Now that night was extremely painful, and we couldn't figure out what's painful till I got the head nurse in there, and she said, "Why are they doing blood pressure on your arm?" And I'm so drugged up that I knew I wasn't supposed to, but I didn't even realize they were doing it. And so as soon as they stopped doing the blood pressure in my arm, my pain subsided, and I went home the next day. I was only in there for one night, overnight. 3 weeks after removing my my breast and had my double mastectomy, which they also put the expanders in at the same time. You get these drains that come out, right? And they kind of go around, and I had 2 sets of drains. So we removed the first set about 2 weeks in, and then I had to go back and remove the second set. So my range of motion, I could put my arms like this, and it was great. And that was Wednesday when I removed my drains. And on Friday, I could not move left arm. I couldn't move it above here. So I was in the bathroom on Saturday morning, and I coughed, and I felt something wet, and I looked down, And I said, oh, that's not right. It was oozing. So I called my doctor, and then he said, text me a picture. So I texted him a picture, and he said, meet me at the hospital right now. We have to have surgery. I had contacted MRSA, and I almost died and had to be quarantined for 4 days in my left drain side. So then they had to remove the left expander. So I was flat on one side and had one expander on the other side because we could no longer do surgery, and that lasted through all of my chemo. So then I went back in and put my expander back in, and I have to tell you, getting your breasts expanded with your skin is they put saline in it to blow them up, to stretch, and it has to be one of the most painful things I've ever experienced in my life. I felt like I was wearing a barbed wire bra, not on my chest, I can't feel it here, but my back, from the stretching of the muscles and the skin. My back hurts as if I have boobs that are like this big.
Wow.
Because I've lost all the muscle had to be, you have right here, and all these muscles had to be, stretched after over 6 different surgeries. And, we finally did that. We put the expander in, we stretched them all out, we put the implants in, I had my hysterectomy, and then 3 years later I started to get really inflamed, have a lot of issues sleeping. I had a lot of not temperamental issues, but my anxiety was really bad, and my depression got really bad, and my implants started to deform in a way where they looked like they were being squeezed in weirdly. So they would have these ripples in them and dents in them. And I went to a doctor, and he told me, obviously he couldn't tell which one was doing it, but I was either allergic to them, or my body was rejecting them, or if I would have left them in, I would have gotten breast implant illness, which can cause lymphedema, which is another form of cancer. Lymphoma. Lymphedema is from removing the lymph nodes. You swell up, and I'm supposed to wear a sleeve and everything, but I'm a bad girl, and I don't, because I do have the lymphoma. The lymphedema, those words always mess me up. The lymphedema I have in my left arm. So, sometimes when right here you can see it, the swelling, like over here, you can kind of see like my muscle. It's right in here, but this one's just kind of like fatter, because I've got a lot of fluid buildup from not having lymph nodes and not being able to move that fluid through my body. So I actually have to push that stagnant fluid up to these lymph nodes. And,
oh my God.
Yeah. And so I'm a bad girl, and I don't do that unless it's actually really swollen and affects me.
How is your diet? Yo is Tracy. She really been through a lot. Let's see if you could reconnect with her. In the meantime, guys, I want you guys to call. I want you guys to call 718-701-5720. That's 718-701-5720. Just say hi to Tracy, man. Just say hi. Let she know that you guys are there. Yeah. It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. And sometimes, as I say, it's good that we showcase those stories there, because people just have everything, Jed. You have everything that you need at your disposal. Everything. But you're still complaining. What are you complaining for? Look at Tracy. Huh? Look at Tracy. She ain't complaining. You see she complaining? Tracy is smiling.
Oh, I'm back. I'm sorry we're fighting storms.
Yeah, no problem. It happens. We understand.
We are getting poured on here in Missouri today, so we need
yeah.
So
what's your diet like?
So we were talking about diet. So I just really have to stay away from estrogen. Fruits, vegetables. I'm guilty, and I like cheese. And I like cheese a lot, so I eat a lot of cheese. It's my favorite food. And I don't have a problem with constipation. I actually have the opposite problem. Yeah, I like cheese. But fruits, vegetables, cheese, meat, bread. I just stay away from estrogen. And so when I was waiting tables at this Italian restaurant, this lady came up and said, do you have soy in your house dressing? And I
Yeah.
said, oh, you have estrogen positive breast cancer, don't you? And she goes, what? And I said, I can't have soy either. I said, don't eat our fried foods
Yeah.
because it's also in our fryer. And a lot of people don't know that. So you have to watch if something's fried with soy oil. I cannot have anything that turns into estrogen.
Right.
Soy, ginseng, flaxseed oil, fish oil, a lot of that stuff actually changes into estrogen in your body. So I have to be more careful about keeping that out than anything else.
Yeah. Yeah. And you educated yourself. We got a caller on the line. Caller, welcome to the right. Where you calling us from?
Brooklyn, New York, Julia.
Brooklyn, New York. Go right ahead, Brooklyn, New York.
Hi, Tracy. I just want to say, I admire your strength, and I wish I could just hug you. Believe you me.
Virtual hug.
But one thing I can say, looking at you here this afternoon has helped me to learn to appreciate my body. Because I'll be honest with you, I'm a mother of 3 girls. I'm 59, and I've always thought of removing some of the skin from on my breast because I just wanted to have a more firm breast. But you just taught me to learn to appreciate me and who I am after all that you've been through. So I just want to let you know I admire your strength. I just wish you were close to me so that at least I could just give you a hug.
Well, thank
Be
you.
strong.
And
Love
thank
you.
Thank
I
you
love
so
you
much,
too.
caller. Tracy, you see what I tell you? You are
That's
changing and helping so many people that's watching this live right now and that will watch this live after. Because I was saying while your video was cut off, there's a lot of people who have far less, right? Or far more, sorry, far more, but they always complain. You know, when they touch their body, they have that feeling, they have everything, or they're good, they could breathe, everything is good with them, but they're worrying and they're stressing, and they have a lot more than a lot of people, but they're still complaining. So your story kind of encapsulate and let people see that the simplest thing in life, and paying attention to the simplest thing in life, and you're happy, you're smiling. I mean, you're still going through it, you still have to go through counseling, but still you're smiling, and that is strength. That is strength, and we really appreciate you sharing your story here. This would change, not only, I mean, this would change man as well as woman, because men does always think that they can't get breast cancer, but no, men could get breast cancer as well. So women, men sometimes we don't go to the doctor as much as you guys. So if you love your husband, take him to the doctor with you.
please
Check him
do.
out.
Please
Yeah,
do.
yeah, because you'll be helping yourself and helping him. We're helping him and helping yourself. You guys will live a longer life together. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, my
Uh,
friend from high school, we were both diagnosed in high school, a year apart. He is dead from breast cancer, and I lived.
yeah, yeah. Tracy, I got to say thank you again for coming on. Any last words you want to say before we wrap up?
Yes, it is okay not to love your body, and it is okay to be upset about something and want to change it and want to work on it. You don't have to love it, you just have to accept it.
Wow, that's powerful right there. Yeah, yeah. Tracy, once again, thank you so much. What about people that wants to get in touch with you? People who wants
Yes,
to get some strength from,
absolutely.
from your story. Is there any way that people could reach out to you?
Yes, my Facebook page is Tracy Marie with TraciMarie, and that's my Facebook page. And you can, follow it. It's open. As much crap as I get from everybody in this world and the trolls and everything else, people say block them, make your page private. But no, I can't help people if I do that. So you can go there, or you can reach me on Instagram, which is Scream Queen 13. As you can see, I love horror. I like all
Yeah.
my scary stuff. And so you can reach me there, and I do check my messages. I did just put up something today. I know we're all dealing with depression a lot, and I know I'm only one person, and I will get to them. But I'm letting people know that if they need somebody just to talk to, even for 15 minutes, just to have, a face, just message me. And I do have a job. I work 4 days a week. It's just part-time. But when I'm not working, I'm just going to start setting up dates to FaceTime through Messenger. So, we're not so alone in this quarantine stuff we're going through right now. And if you don't have to have cancer to contact me. We're all fighting our own journeys, and we all have our own journeys. We all have our own battles, and we all need somebody who's going to just not judge us. And so as long as morally you're not hurting anybody, and you're just a kind person, I won't judge you, and I won't judge you, ever. I just kindness is a huge thing to me, and we all need somebody who will listen without their opinion. So all I ask is somebody just say, just don't talk. I just want to talk, and I will just listen. We all need that person, and I won't judge you.
I gotta say also thank you to our producer Lois JJ, who set this up. She did an excellent job tracking you down to get you on the program here. I gotta say thank you so much. She works so hard. We have a team in the back that ensure. We have Lois JJ, we have Mo, we have Dr. Z, we have a lot of people in the background making things happen. But I got a question to ask you before we leave, Tracy.
Yeah.
I know you said that finding love, it's difficult, and finding the person to share your life with, and you don't date, right? But I'm sure that there are people out there that want life partners.
Yes.
Not necessarily everyone wants sex. There are people that want someone to hug, to cuddle, to spoon in the night, to hold hands, to go to the movies, to do all these things. There are people there. So keep your options open. Still.
Oh, they're there. I just haven't found that one yet.
Right. So that person is probably lurking.
Yeah.
And don't shut yourself off to love, because you're a beautiful person, and love will find you.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I'll find that person that's going through the same thing that I am, that understands. And when we get there, hey, there's men who have to amputate their penises and that have to go through things, and just haven't found that one yet. So
yeah, but who said he had to be a man? It could be a woman. It could be anybody. It could be a human being.
Absolutely. And my best friend is that person for me. We are each other's person. So yeah, she's my person. She is a single mom of 2 twin girls, and I babysit them on Saturday nights and Sunday days while she's a nurse and she goes to work, and I teach them school, and we have fun, and I clean up the house, and she comes home from work on Saturday night and her house is clean, and we just don't cuddle when we sleep, but we are absolutely best friends. And you can go look on my page and watch us singing in the car when we went and got our tattoos together, and you can literally see the exact description of our friendship through singing George Michael's Faith.
Yeah, even Mo is saying a long distance relationship. Listen, Tracy, love will find you.
It will.
Love will find you.
I'm open with that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So thanks again, Tracy. Thanks again to our team in the back. Thanks to Lois JJ for setting this up. It was great. I appreciate it. Thanks to Mo, Dr. Z, and everyone, our team Ridealdong. Tracy, we're going to keep in touch,
Okay, thank you, Mo. Thank you, Junior. Thank you, Loisy. You guys are amazing. Thank you so
much
for
thank
having
you so
me
much
on your show. I'll share everything.
Share it. Thank you. Yeah, Tracy is a beautiful person, guys. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful person. And, as I said, I'm going to end with this, right? And that's all I'm going to say on this. We complain too much, Jed. We complain too much. We get up and we could take a deep breath. There's people that on ventilators right now that can't even breathe, and in the back of their mind, you know what they're saying? If I could just take one breath on my own, that means the world to them. There are people right now that can't even walk. They're confined to a wheelchair, right? And they're saying, boy, if I could just make 2 steps, that would mean the world to me right now. There are people who can't have kids, or there are people who just they have whatever, I ain't gonna say disability because that's not the right word, but they just have inabilities in certain instances, and they just want to do this one thing. But some of us, we have all the disabilities. We could taste, we could walk, we could run, we could do all of these things, but still we stress, we worry, and we cause confusion and problems to other people's lives. You know, we need to value the things. And when we bring on stories like this, where folks come and share a story like Tracy, to bring people back to reality. This is a reality shock, because people need to go back to reality. Because any minute now, your whole life could change. You could walk down the road right now, boom, get hit by a car. You can't walk again. You lost your legs, your arms, and you're confined to a wheelchair. So listen, everything that you have right now, say thanks for it. All right, appreciate it, and stop the stress, stop the worry, smile a little bit more. And we always say pay it forward, We always say pay it forward. So when you see we have programs that encourage, I pledge, and I gotta big up Lydia and everybody else who don't run away from supporting. I gotta say thanks to everyone. Guys, smile a little bit, man. Smile. Look at Stacy. Look at Stacy smile. Look at, she's still on with me. Stacy is still smiling. She is still smiling, and you see, that's what I'm talking about. Smile. Tell somebody you love them, and don't wait for when you can't say to them no more. Yeah, go to them tonight and say, baby, you know I love you. Yeah, I do. Like I tell all the time, I love you. Sue, Patrice, I love you. Thank you. Lacey J, I love you, Lacey J. You're miserable, but I still love you. Lisa, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Jackie Chaitan, thank you so much. Spice Baffy, thank you so much. Hannah, appreciate everybody. Sonia McKee John, yes. Jackie Smith, Lacey J again, Kevin Maras, Princess Lee. I'm going up the line. Hannah, Lois JJ, Mose, everybody, we love you. Stephanie, thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. Hey, let me show you the cat. Even the cat is smiling. See that? The cat is happy. Cat is a happy camper. Oh, Lacey just says she loves me. I feel good. Oh, you see that? Big up. Woo! All right, guys. On Fridays we have Ride Trivia. Ride Trivia on Ridealdong is a very interesting trivia game show, and it's right here on the ride. The whole thing about it is on Friday we want to get away from all the drama. No drama on Fridays. Whatever's happening, forget about it. Come and play Ride Trivia with us. Every Friday we have what is called 50-50, which means that we have a donation link that you go there and you donate $5, $10, $2, whatever. And on Fridays when we play the game, the winner would get 50% of all of that. Last week we gave away $90, right? Now last week we gave away $90. This week, let's up that total. So we're going to put the link in the bottom of the show on Friday. I want you guys to come and play Ride Trivia with us right here on Ridealdong. You're going to paste the link, all right? Oh, we also have a new program coming up called Top 5 at 5. It's a brand new Ridealdong series. It's going to be on Sundays, right? Five women, professional women hosting this program. Is going to be very interesting. Every Sunday, it's going to start this Sunday at 5 p.m. You guys are going to see the list of the top 5 who's going to be on this program. So on Sunday, when you get notification, yes, it's us. Top 5 at 5. Peace out. I've said enough. Oh, I got to say this. Don't forget. Check out emoji.com. Log into emoji.com right now. So a new social media platform, emoji, social media your way. Yeah, emoji. Check out emoji right now, guys. Sign up for our account and join in. Build a community on emoji. Emoji that says social media your way. Check out emoji right now, guys. Very interesting. Very, very, very classy and it's a nice platform. I ain't gonna lie. It's a nice platform. Check it out. Social media your way. Emoji.com. Yeah, emoji.com. Log in right now and start posting. Build your community. Build your page right there on emoji. It's not only regulation like Facebook, eh? Go over there. Catch you guys. Peace out, guys. Bye-bye.
You gotta be firm in this time, son. You gotta be strong in this time, son. I'm a survivor. I will survive. And I'm a firm believer. We'll forever shine, just to stay alive. That simple means it. Nobody can hold me back. Nobody can drain my energy. Nobody can hold me stick. I will not allow negativity. Nobody can hold me back. Nobody can drain my energy. Nobody can. Everybody show me some strength. No weakness, show me a lion now. Strength. No weakness, show them who we are. Strength. No weakness, show me a lion now. Everybody strength. No weakness, show them who we are. Not when you're old. Your enemies, they must tremble. Yo, not when you're old. Everything has to humble. I'm a go-getter. I just go hard. And I'm a kind of fellow. Put my trust in God. That simple means it. Nobody can hold me man. Nobody can drain my energy. Nobody can control me stick. I will not allow negativity. Nobody can hold me man. Nobody can drain my energy. Nobody can. Yo, just show me some strength. No weakness, show me a lamp. Strength. No weakness, show them who we are. Strength. No weakness, show me a lamp. Everybody strength. No weakness, show them who we are. Not when you're old. Your enemies, they must tremble. Yo, not when you're old. Everything has to humble. Right now, on this battlefield, shoulders to the wheel, on this battlefield, yo, just show me some strength. No weakness, show me a lion now. Strength, no weakness, show them who we are. Strength, no weakness, show me a lion now. Everybody strength, no weakness, show them who we are. Not when you're old. Your enemies, they must tremble. Yo, not when you're old. Everything has to humble. Strength.
Life is a ride. Life is a ride. Life is a ride along. Welcome to the experience. Welcome to the journey. A movement. This is Ridealdong Live, where everyone has a story to tell.